Tonight, on a very special David Pollack Show featuring Puppet Carlson, we're talking, I know it seems like it was a week ago, we're talking about the horrific, the train wreck of a tragedy. Kamala Harris with Bret Baier on Fox News. Yes, she still hasn't recovered from it. So bad, actually, she's bashing Christians at her own rallies. The joy is gone there, guys, and we're going to talk about that tonight. Plus, Donald Trump roasts Kamala Harris at the Al Smith dinner. That was very interesting. Kamala chose not to show up. We're going to be talking about that as well. That and so much more, including a special guest, tonight on The David Pollack Show.
Americans are feeling the squeeze, struggling with the cost of everything from gas.
How do you feel about the economy?
Raising interest rates.
Iran's most intense strike ever against Israel.
Get up, Puppet.
What, Dave? What?
We got work to do.
Puppet Carlson reporting for duty. I'm driving, Dave.
You're not driving.
I am driving, Dave. I'm in the Cybertruck.
Come on. I'm going to regret this. All right, I don't know about this. Are you sure you want to try to drive?
Dave, Elon made this sucker to drive itself.
All right.
Let's boogie. I got this, man.
Can you even reach the pedals?
Sit down and cool it.
Puppet, pick a lane.
Chill out, Dave. I'm a non-binary driver.
Let's get to work.
Wait up, Dave. I'm the star of this show.
Welcome to another David Pollack Show featuring my patriotic plush pal, Puppet Carlson. How you doing tonight, Puppet?
I'm feeling good, Dave. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing fantastic.
I feel like it's been a dang week since we saw each other.
Oh, well, trust me, it's good enough for me. You like our new rock and roll open?
I love it. We look like rock stars in that. Well, at least I do, Dave.
Well, you don't sound like a rock star. That's courtesy of our good friend, Patriot Rob, over on X. If you guys aren't following Patriot Rob, you need to go and do that.
Yeah, dude, that felt like that added a lot of energy, Patriot Rob, to the program. So thank you for that intro there, that musical interlude.
I know we're gonna have to play it longer. Maybe we'll put up the breaks and stuff too.
Better than when Dave tries to seduce me with that romantic stuff he was playing before.
Well, I wasn't trying. I don't know. I was trying to make people feel the groove, so they're ready to go with the show. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. I do like
baby.
the hard rock intro.
Baby.
Patriot Rob.
I'm a rock and roll puppet, Dave.
You're a puppet. Patriot Rob was awesome to put that together for us. He did everything, by the way. He did the drums, the guitar, the bass, everything. Mixed it. That was really cool of him, and he did it because of our old open, but now we're just going to use it for the intro of the show, but it's awesome. But Puppet, tonight...
Yeah, Dave.
Can I tell you how excited I am about tonight? I'm going to tell you why, because our special guest is backstage. I see him back there. I want to tell you why I'm so excited about this. I have been a fan of this person for a very, very long time. I've seen all the movies. Journalism, and we say this all the time on the show, is pretty much dead. There's no such thing as legacy or traditional journalism anymore. Now, what you see on Fox News, MSNBC, yes, I said Fox News, except Bret Baier, he's getting some kudos, and we're going to talk about that later with the panel. Bret Baier,
sure we will.
He just totally, I think, might have redeemed himself for that whole calling Arizona thing in 2020 with what he did with Kamala Harris. I haven't felt so good about somebody holding somebody accountable since, and gosh, even though he didn't do a great job, Mitt Romney going after Barack Obama. Because remember when the media treated him with kid gloves, and when they finally had that debate with Mitt Romney, he was like push, but he pumped the brakes though, because he wasn't Trump, he wasn't a killer, so he didn't really go after Obama too hard. He let him off the hook, and the moderators helped. But it was the first time that anybody held Obama accountable, and just like this, Bret Baier held Kamala accountable for her lies, and we're gonna talk about that later with the panel. But anyway, but the news is so fake. There's no real journalism. There's no real reporting. But the real journalists, the real people doing the work of journalists, the people telling the truth, are people like our next guest here, because people are using their own money, their own time. They're risking everything in some instances to tell the truth, because it has never been more dangerous to tell the truth in this country. We've seen it. We've seen the consequences in other countries. Maybe you never thought it would happen in the United States, but now we're seeing the consequences in the United States. So when you have films that come out like Vindicating Trump, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, it talks about the lawfare and everything that's come after Trump and everything they've tried to do to him. But and nobody can tell these stories in the news. Nobody used to be able to tell those stories on YouTube or on Instagram or on any meta platform, or else you'd be banned. You still can't even talk about election integrity on YouTube or you'll get banned. You can't talk about the COVID vaccine on YouTube or you'll get banned. Now, just for my YouTube screeners right now, I'm not talking about those things. I'm just referencing the fact that you're not allowed to say them on your platform. So don't kick me off.
We don't want to get kicked off by just talking about getting kicked off.
Exactly.
Want to be getting kicked off at least for something good.
But real journalism, people like Dinesh D'Souza, and that's our special guest tonight. Everybody's probably seen it promoted. He goes out of his way to tell the truth when truth is needed the most. And with Vindicating Trump, he talks about all the challenges that faced Donald Trump, the fact that he's called a tyrant, the fact that he's called lawless. And instead, it shows how everything was really turned against him. It's not Trump. It's what they're doing to Trump. And that's what Vindicating Trump talks about. Great movie. It's actually premiering tomorrow in Mar-a-Lago. But don't hear it from me. Why listen to me talk about it when we can hear from the man himself? And I want to welcome Mr. Dinesh D'Souza to the David Pollack Show. Sir, welcome to the show today. Thank you so much for being here. It is my honor to have you. You are a real patriot, a true journalist, and everything you do delivers truth for all of America, and we can't thank you enough for it. Can you please tell us, one, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing just great. Thank you. Very excited about the film, and there's an accompanying book of the same title. Happy to say the film is now available in streaming and on multiple platforms and also DVDs. And the one-stop shop to find out more is just called vindicatingtrump.com.
Yeah, and tell us, so you've put out so many great movies and exposed so much that the press doesn't do their job exposing. What inspired Vindicating Trump? Because I think the release is perfectly timed. What went into this particular film?
Well, usually I will start with something that is a puzzle or a question, and that I think is not really being grappled with. And in this case, the question is this. You have a guy like Trump who inspires these radically opposed reactions from intense loyalty on the one hand and really intense hatred on the other. You've got one group of people who would genuinely take a bullet for this guy. And you've got another group of people who will cheer, maybe silently, but they'll cheer nevertheless if someone tries to put a bullet in him. Now, think this is not a normal distribution of emotions. You have to go back to Lincoln, in my opinion, to find a president who has this kind of reaction. And it's not even really a direct analogy, because in Lincoln's case, the controversy was not over Lincoln the man. It was over the issues. With Trump, it is over Trump. It's over the man. And so the focus of this film and book is Trump. I take seriously the attacks on Trump, some of them coming from the Republican side. Things like, I don't like the guy, but I like his policies, or his character is defective, but he did a good job the last time, or he needs to shut his mouth. And these are people who are trying to get a new and different Trump. They want to remake Trump. And my argument is, listen, don't do that. Not only is that not going to happen, but you don't need to do that. Trump is peculiarly well equipped for the challenges in which the country finds itself now. Maybe he's not the perfect guy for every time, but he happens to be the best guy, maybe the only guy for this time.
It's an excellent point you make. Trump is the guy for the time, and I have this conversation with all the time. And I have the trailer here for the show, for the film, and I want to show it to everybody. But you make such an interesting point, because when people don't understand why Trump is as popular as he is, why people follow Trump, why people want Trump to be elected, everybody wants to try to bash his character. And by the way, I've never subscribed to this whole I like Trump's policies, but his personality, because you know what? I haven't had the honor of meeting Trump personally, but I know a lot of people who have. And everybody who knows Trump on a personal basis says he's the nicest person, will go out of his way for people. He's kind, he's caring, and you see it all over the place. So this whole idea that he's these personality flaws, it's a made-up media narrative. So anybody who's like, oh, yeah, well, it's not his personality, it's policies, they don't really take the time to understand Trump. But that being said, I always say when people are like, well, you know, Donald Trump is polarizing the country, it really wasn't Donald Trump, right? Barack Obama was the first president, I think, that really put a wedge between Americans. He went out of his way when he had the ultimate opportunity to unite the country. He went out of his way to divide the country, point us out on our differences, whether it be racial, economic, no matter what he did, every step of the way, he never failed to take an opportunity to divide this country. Trump was the reaction to Barack Obama. Trump came because he needed to come and defend the country from the division that Barack Obama was putting in place. And I don't think people understand that, right?
Well, that's an excellent summary. Trump is standing in the way of the remaking of America that Obama, when he said it in 2008, some people thought this was just rhetorical boilerplate, but no, Obama meant it. The division that you're talking about serves a purpose. If you want to really radically change something, you have to disrupt it first. And so Obama realized that the way to do that is to make it us against them. And that's really what he did. Now, with regard to Trump, the interesting thing about it is some of the charges against him on the surface, if you look at his public life, they seem to be true. Trump is a massive egotist. All right. Trump actually is unbelievably boastful. You know, his rallies aren't just big. They've got to be like the biggest rallies ever. The burgers in Mar-a-Lago aren't just tasty. They're like the best burgers ever made. So he's got this salesman, like over the top quality that makes you think, you know, this guy must be an amazing narcissist. Now, also Trump in public seems to be a little bit of a bully. It's partly because he's an 800-pound gorilla taking on other 800-pound gorillas, and he likes bullying bullies. But guess what? Trump doesn't bully people who are beneath him. You know, notice how courteously he treated people at McDonald's. He's always nice to the doorman, the cab driver, the waiter. He asks about those people. Hey, Jim, you know, your son just took an exam. How'd that come out? Now, that's not something a narcissist would normally express any interest in. And so I think, and I try hard in the film, Vindicating Trump, to bring out these aspects of Trump that are real features of his character, but he somehow has a manly aversion to talking about his feelings or his vulnerability. But I think if people could see Trump in the round, they would like him even more.
Yeah, well, let's look at the trailer for the film real quick and give people a taste about what it's all about.
Somebody has to help this country, and if they don't, the country and the world are in big trouble.
Someone's got to overturn the tables in the temple.
Trump jumping into the presidential race.
She's a bit worried.
Of the Apprentice guy?
You know the feeling of power. Could you handle it or would it devour? Power.
They fear that power. You didn't do an insurrection. Had you called for one, there would have been one. And there would be one if you called for one now.
I'm not sure I want that power. I want the power just to make the country better.
America first!
And that scares them.
A lot about Donald Trump scares them.
Let's look at everything. Campaign, his family. Let's get foreign eyes on him.
We have one target. You know who he is.
Going after their companies, their families. That is a dictator.
It's a very dangerous time for our country.
The goal is to put him in jail because they're so afraid of his voice.
I am your voice.
We'll bury him so deep in legal, it'll bankrupt them.
Broke Donald in jail right before the election. That's
sorry for being that guy, but isn't that election interference?
It's not interference if we do it.
We just want a free and fair election.
Sounds expensive.
Ballots ain't cheap.
Wait. Did you actually say the word buy the ballots?
We were able to purchase 10,000 ballots.
That's terrifying.
They cheat in many different ways. That's all they're good at. Ready to save democracy?
We need to stop him permanently.
And that person will be risking his life.
Too bad it's not the 60s, right?
It's the way you survived.
I said, get me up.
Trump has beaten back every attack against him.
It's like the damn Terminator. We're going to fix our borders, and we're going to fix our elections. We're going to win.
This is my legacy.
Vindicating Trump.
The best is yet
Wow, wow, wow.
That was a good trailer, Dinesh. That was good stuff, buddy.
Well, that's the beauty of a film. I have a book and it makes the argument for Trump, but a film can't be a legal argument. It's a narrative, it's a story, it's got very entertaining, hilarious recreations. Of course, the centerpiece is this one on one conversation with Trump. And I try to pull Trump out of his normal zone because I want people to see his mind work and I want him to react to things he hasn't heard before. So I say, for example, to Trump, I say, listen, they say that you called for an insurrection on January 6th. And as far as I can see, you didn't do that. But guess what? Had you called for one, there would have been one, a real one, I mean. And there would be one if you called for one now. I don't know anyone else in America today who has that kind of power. Are you aware that you do? And how do you intend to use that kind of power? And you can see Trump, an expression of surprise, an acknowledgement, the tumblers of his mind are working. This is part of what I think makes the conversation with Trump quite unique.
Wow. Yeah. And I think the story you're telling right now needs to be told. And it's kind of, do you put your films together to sort of, I know, to create like a story arc? Because if you go from the theft of the election to where we are now with them trying to actually assassinate him, I mean, did you intend to kind of tie the two together? Or is it just sort of the way we are right now is that this story continues?
Well, we divide the film, at least the attack on Trump, into character assassination, political assassination, lawfare or legal assassination, and then the two actual assassination attempts. Now, these things are connected. I mean, if you look at incidents throughout American history where there have been assassinations, let's look at, Lincoln was assassinated, of course, JFK was. There was an assassination attempt on Teddy Roosevelt and also one by John Hinckley on Reagan. But none of those were preceded by 8 years of unrelenting attack in which the other party makes the case in which they're in effect saying it would be a good thing if this guy were assassinated. Because after all, if you're likening someone to Hitler circa 1933, I mean, what are you saying other than it would be a benefit to the country and the world if someone took this guy out?
Yeah, it's so crazy to me that here we are in 2024. Now, early voting has started here in Florida where I say Florida, Dinesh, because that's all my transplant New Yorker family, that Florida, moving to Florida. So anyway, so when you hear me say Florida, that's the reason for it. Same Florida. But down here in Florida, early voting has started. The enthusiasm is insane. You've seen it all over the country too, by the way. Everybody wants to vote for Trump, in my opinion. I still think Trump was elected in 2020. I don't know what happened on that evening of 2020. I just know that when I went to sleep, Trump was winning. That being said, the energy to elect Donald Trump in 2024, it has never been stronger. And what he's had to overcome in order to get to today, 2 assassination attempts, 3 impeachments, a Russia investigation, 4 indictments, how many civil suits? They've tried to bankrupt him. They've gone after his family. I don't think there's a person in history, I don't think there's a political figure in history who has been attacked as much as Donald Trump has. And yet it seems to only be making him stronger. How do you feel that the climate is shaping up right now for Donald Trump? Well, how do you feel he's going to do in this election? I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to get more votes in 2024 than he got in 2020, way more than he got in 2016. I think you can't beat Trump. I don't think there's enough fraud out there to overcome the margin that Trump's going to win by, but I'm curious to know what you think.
Well, first of all, I recommend you watch my earlier film, 2000 Mules. It will give you a lot of clarity about what really happened in the 2020 election. Normally, I'd say, how do you go back to an event that occurred quite a while ago? Well, the answer is cell phone geo-tracking and surveillance video, which are the 2 techniques used in that film. All right. Now, with regard to Trump, this is a man, his vices are minor. But he has some great virtues, and his greatest is political courage, which he has in giant quantities. I mean, think about it. Any other Republican facing, 2 criminal charges, leave alone 91, would have quit the race, fled the field, be under the desk, in the fetal position. And then you look at Trump and his response to the 2 assassination attempts. I don't know a man alive who would have responded in that way. The level of bravery, the level of being willing to look death in the eye, is just unbelievable. So ironically, this effort to get rid of Trump has allowed Trump in a very unrehearsed way to demonstrate these remarkable qualities of political courage and bravery. And the American people have seen it. Nothing the media, they can stop reporting on it. We're not going to remind you of it. All right, well, guess what? That was one of the most iconic images from the campaign. By the way, the second most iconic is the mugshot. The third most iconic is Trump in his apron serving people at the drive-thru in McDonald's. And quite honestly, look at those three images. They're going to really help him win this election.
Yeah. How many Halloween costumes do you think are going to be? I'm telling you, I'm already shopping for my apron for Puppet's Halloween party next weekend. How many Halloween costumes do you think are going to be Donald Trump in a McDonald's apron? What a brilliant strategic move. It's all over TikTok. All the young people are talking about it. You compare that and contrast that to Tim Walz and his fake hunting trip and whatever Kamala tries to do. Trump's team is brilliant. I think they're firing on all cylinders right now.
He surely looked like a boss in that McDonald's bit.
Right?
It was like, people are just like, oh, he looks like a boss in that. Just, I mean, but that's the way Trump comes across. I mean, that's who he is. The thing about Trump, I think, and then I don't know if the film depicts this because I haven't seen it yet, but so many politicians are constantly trying to change who they are so they can be more adaptable and liked and well-rounded so that they can get the most votes from the most amount of people. Trump does the exact opposite. Trump just is Trump and says, like me, don't like me, whatever, I'm Trump. And then all of a sudden, so many people gravitate to that because it's the first time a politician actually doesn't try to pander to all people for votes. That's the way what it looks like to me.
Yeah, the genius of the McDonald's was twofold. First of all, any other Republican who was told, hey, listen, Kamala never worked at McDonald's, would have sort of issued a pompous statement. I'm calling on Kamala Harris to acknowledge the fact that she never worked at McDonald's and issue an apology. No, Trump is like, I won't do that. I'll go work at McDonald's. This will dramatize the fact that I worked 15 minutes. That's the first thing about it. Trump is a marketing genius. The second thing about it is just think about the idea of a billionaire with an apron, serving immigrants, through the drive-through. It's very touching in a way, those conversations. And not only that, but it reminds you of the bigger point, which is, hey, listen, here's a guy who has another life waiting for him. He could be at Mar-a-Lago. He could be on an island. He's got a limited number of years left. He's got grandchildren. He's got $1 billion. And yet he's going into a path where you've got people who want to lock him up for the rest of his life. You've got at least 2 guys so far who want to kill him. Like, what normal person would go for that deal? Everybody else would take the first option. So the kind of magnanimity of Trump, the generosity, the patriotic motives, I think he has the sense the country's in trouble and he's the best guy to do something about it. All of this, I think, is italicized in a very simple way just by seeing this guy with an apron handing out fries at McDonald's.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, guys, this is why you need to go check out Vindicating Trump right now. Go and do it. Go check it out. It's vindicatingtrump.com, correct, Dinesh?
Yeah, that's the website to stream the movie, get DVDs. They're a good way to share the message. And the book, of course, the same title. It's available in Barnes & Noble or Amazon.
So, yeah, everybody go buy the book. Go see the movie. Now, let me ask you, you're giving this movie away. How can people support your efforts in making this film if they don't have to pay for the film?
Well, right now the film is, you actually have to pay for it. It's streaming.
Oh.
Now, there are a couple of platforms like, the Rumble has a new product called Rumble Premium. You can join Rumble and you'll get the movie included. If you join my locals channel, you'll get the movie included. But it's not free.
Oh, okay, my bad. When you said it was streaming there, I was like, wait, you're just giving it to people? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, streaming in the sense that you can now watch it at home,
right.
and you can watch it on your big screen TV. So it's available for streaming purchases. Now, I am trying to figure out ways to get the movie to tens of millions of people. I obviously want it not merely to be seen by conservatives and Republicans, but kind of the way I look at this is I tell my investors, listen, guys, you pay for the movie. I'll work really hard to get your money back to you so you can do it again. None of us are trying to make $1 here. What we're trying to do is help the country. That's why we do what we do. But it's my challenge to figure out ways to get this movie out very widely over the next couple of weeks.
Well, the messages are so important in all your films, and I encourage everybody, go stream this movie today. Go buy the book if you like to read. Do whatever you have to do to get this information. And if you haven't voted already, I would consider this information before you go and vote. Dinesh, thank you so very much for being on the show today. I can't tell you how much of an honor it is, and thank you for the work you do and everything you're doing to bring truth to America.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, guys.
Dinesh.
Before I let you ever been on a show with a puppet before, like a real puppet? It's weird, right?
That's a bit of an unusual. For a moment, I was wondering if you were the ventriloquist who was not only interviewing me but also managing the puppet. Then I realized that the puppet may be coming from a slightly different place.
He doesn't have that much talent, Dinesh. That's for sure. I can verify that.
Look, I'm talking and I'm doing this all myself. Right. I'm that talented. Tell the whole world this guy can actually control a puppet and talk and make the puppet all. That's the truth.
Well, let's remember that when we think about Biden as well as Harris, there's a different kind of puppetry going on there too.
That's exactly why I'm here, Dinesh. I got to balance the scales because they got a lot of puppets on the left.
Exactly.
Exactly. Sure.
And I don't control those puppets. Anyway, Dinesh, thank you so much again for joining. Everybody go check out the film, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Take care. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break.
That was great, Dave.
Wasn't that awesome?
That was awesome.
I love Dinesh. One of my favorites. I always forget that you're a puppet, and I forget to ask people if it's weird for them. And
I think that's part of the charm that we just let it go, like without mentioning it. It's like, yeah, you just had an interview with a puppet.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm gonna play some music, and we're gonna take a break.
Do, Dave?
Yeah. We're gonna go take a break.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. We're taking a break.
Yeah, we're taking a break because when we come back,
need a break.
We need a break, and when we come back, we got a panel.
I don't need a break.
You know who's on our panel, right? We got a very special guest on the panel tonight too. This is the biggest show ever. We have all the big names on tonight.
I know.
And you somehow. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. David Pollack Show featuring my plush pal, Patriotic Puppet. We'll be right back.
With today's economic environment, it's never been more important to secure your hard-earned wealth for you and your family's future. FinSec Life works to offer industry-leading customer service to help successful individuals and businesses protect their wealth. Whether it's a business succession plan, estate liquidity, or a variety of life and long-term care policies, FinSec Life can help deliver peace of mind, knowing that if something happens, you or your company is taken care of. Visit finseclife.com. That's FINSEC life.com. Securities offered through Valmark Security Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Valmark Advisors Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. FinSec Life is a separate entity from Valmark Securities Inc. and Valmark Advisors Inc.
Welcome to Raised Right Books, where each tale unfolds with gentle conservative lessons. These stories come alive with hand-drawn illustrations and playful rhymes. If you've been looking for ways to teach your little patriots valuable life lessons, look no further. Discover these delightful stories at raisedrightbooks.org.
In today's fast-paced world, effective communication is the backbone of successful businesses. Are outdated systems and high costs slowing you down? Switch to Public Telephone Company for cutting-edge voice-over IP solutions. Enjoy seamless connectivity, unparalleled reliability, and significant cost savings. Tailor-made voice-over IP solutions designed for your business needs. Join countless businesses in transforming your communication with Public Telephone Company. Public Telephone Company. Revolutionize the way you connect.
We're back, Puppet.
Yeah, Dave. Felt like a new version of that FinSec Life
was
commercial.
A new version.
Yeah.
You like it, right?
I did like it. Yeah.
Public Telephone Company did a really good job with that. I don't talk about them enough for you guys. If you're doing lame things like actually using a telephone company and not a VoIP phone company that actually gives you encrypted communications, you're doing something wrong. So make sure you go check out Public Telephone Company. You'll be surprised with how much money you can actually save with real customer service, like not some guy far away who really doesn't care and sells your information to the FBI. So I don't know why you're not using Public Telephone Company if you're not yet. Make sure you go and do it. Puppet, it's panel time. Oh gosh, we need a
panel time.
Oh, I think I just created a new I think for now on when I go Puppet, it's panel time. We need to it's panel time. Oh, we should do that. Hold on.
Panel time. Yeah.
Hey,
I
Puppet.
like it, Dave.
Yeah, you
That's
like
the
that,
first
right?
good idea since I've met you.
I know. Well, my
Man.
first good idea was having you on this show. I don't think it was a good idea, but a lot of people seem to think it was. But yes, we're going to do that. Make a note. Next time we do the panel, I'm going to say, Puppet, it's panel time.
And I'll do it.
Panel time. Yeah, I like it. All right, well,
And then
let's bring
maybe
in the
I can get some legs, Dave, and I can do the shuffly thing.
What the heck is that?
You know, where he does the scoot like across the stage. It's like hammer time and does the hammer dance. The hammer dance, Dave.
Why can't you do that?
Well, because my legs are a little wobbly.
I saw your legs in the intro. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, look, I could do it. I just can't. I just not that good at dancing, Dave. I got to practice.
All right. Well,
And I need some parachute pants.
We can work on that.
I need some parachute. You got to have parachute pants to do the hammer
chat,
dance.
by the way, Puppet, the chat is going crazy tonight.
I know. We have a great chat tonight.
We really a good chat. I mean, we got Jim Bob chatting away in there. We got all the Jim Bob's going.
Jim Bob,
really
thanks for
We
the kudos on the interview.
We are on We the Studio. Maybe I'm late for these chats here, guys.
No, I think we the Studios was saying that they should put Vindicating Trump on We the Studios app.
I think that's a great idea. Why don't
we should talk to Dinesh about it?
We should. I should have put that up when he was on.
We got to get him get it on the app.
Well, you know, I'll have our people message his people and let's get it up there. Why not? All right. Like I promised, panel time. Let's get Miss Ali Leger up here first. Ali Leger, host of Mom View, Home Front. What's the two chicks in a mic? What's that one called?
Open mic.
Open mic.
Oh,
I like
that
two
one
chicks
is
in a
just
mic.
so close to something very nasty.
Listen.
I like yeah.
Puppet.
Open mic.
What? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it.
And I'm gonna bring in.
But I love you.
I'm going to bring in Miss Heather McIsaac. She's going to be launching a brand pretty soon, and she doesn't know it yet. But it's going to be it's going to be
a beauty
epic.
brand because she's looking mighty beautiful in that screen.
Puppet, control yourself. Control yourself.
I mean,
but
he's
yes,
controlled.
she does look lovely
control
tonight.
myself, Dave. That's the whole thing about being a puppet.
She does look lovely tonight. Absolutely lovely. All right, guys.
Both of our panelists look lovely always.
I mean,
and
Dave,
then
you
there's
look like-
Dave.
You look like a 1920s like mobster. Like, what is going on here?
I do. I
No,
look like a
not you, Dave.
1920s.
Yeah, it's the pinstripe with the white shirt, red tie, pocket square. Definitely 1920s vibes right there.
Well, it's like I want to intimidate people, you know, like because Puppet's funny, and if somebody's like, David, you're funny, I'm gonna be like, funny like how? Like funny like my clown? Like I could do one of those things, you know? Would I be able to pull off the intimidating thing? I don't think so, though.
No.
No.
I'd
like to see you try though.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, Halloween is coming. You know,
How's your Bob?
Dress like a man.
What is he gonna do? Dress like a man?
He's gonna try to dress like a man.
No, actually, I don't want to ruin my Halloween costume. But do you know what I think I'm going to dress as? I think I'm going to go get a McDonald's apron, and I think I'm going to go as French fry cook Donald Trump. I think that's going to be my Halloween costume. Don't tell anybody. Like, that's just between us, okay? Okay?
Purple contacts and a black wig. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Your chat. I'm reading your chat.
Are
I'm
you
doing
gonna
your
dress like
job.
Zachary?
Oh, Zachary Dunford. He's got purple contacts and a black wig. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Question of the night: what is Zachary Dunford dressing like? He's got
For
purple
Halloween?
contacts, and it better not be inappropriate. Wait. Guess what, guys? We have one more surprise panelist. You ready for me to bring him out? I got the chance to meet him over the weekend. I think it was over the weekend, right, Puppet? It's all blurring into one big thing.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Puppet got to meet him too, but in real life, Puppet. Like, so
No,
he has a real life persona. He's just a bigger version of himself. Not much bigger.
True that.
Let me when he's
Out of
done playing with
control,
his
you
camera
two.
backstage. I think he's ready to go backstage. Let's see. We thumbsing upping? Okay, we're thumbsing upping backstage. By the way, I have always enjoyed this guy's videos, and you'll know who he is as soon as I bring him on. They're hilarious. But I got to see him emceeing a comedy show. The dude is freaking hilarious. Like, really, really funny, and should be a stand-up comedian if the whole social media 500,000 followers on Instagram thing doesn't quite work out.
I can work in his benefit. He can do
yeah.
both at the same time.
Yeah, well, let's bring in Mr. Conservative
Hey.
Ant. Welcome to the panel, sir.
Hi, thanks for having me, guys. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Fashionably, Puppet was talking about his legs for a while. You had plenty of time. You weren't missing anything. It was all good. But yeah, you're hilarious, dude. That emceeing for that comedy show was fantastic.
Thank you. That was like my first time, actually.
Yeah,
you were great for the first time for sure.
Thank
And
you.
you're hilarious.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, it's the whole like people watching you and they're expecting you to make them laugh. So you feel like if you don't make them laugh, then you really failed them. So I was just trying to like picture everybody in their underwear.
Actually, that bar, it was a veteran bar. And actually, if you had to picture a crowd in their underwear, that's probably the better crowd to picture in their underwear. I'm just saying, there's other audiences where it could have gone much differently.
Oh,
but,
my.
Yeah.
That might have actually been a distraction, David.
Well, we're here to talk about other things.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine, Ant. I can only imagine.
We're here to talk about other things besides naked audiences. I think we're gonna go backwards to go forward, like a Quentin Tarantino movie. The first thing I want to, because I know it seems like ancient history, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. Do you guys remember when Kamala Harris went on Brett Baier on Fox News? You guys remember this, right? The beginning of the end for Kamala.
Yes.
It's important that we talk about this because not everybody has seen this, and I haven't had a chance to tell you how fantastic it was for her to get slaughtered and destroyed. And I'm going to show you a clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a
which
number?
Is,
do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
it's a
an
rough
immigration
estimate of 6 million people
that
have been
needs to be-
released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the...
Finish,
yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please?
But
you have to let me finish,
You
please.
had the White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and they
in the
didn't bring
middle
up
of
that bill.
responding to the point you're raising.
I'm speaking. That was such an important, I know it was a long clip, and I apologize, guys. I know everyone on this panel has seen it, but for our viewers at home that may not, and maybe they haven't voted yet, there's a 2,000-person migrant caravan, by the way, hanging out on our border, waiting to see who wins the election. So this issue is actually very, very, very important. And I'll go to you first. When you saw somebody actually hold Kamala responsible for her disastrous border policies, how did it make you feel?
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And here's the thing that I'm starting to see a lot of liberals say that he like was they use this like mansplaining thing or whatever, like, oh, he's a man, which I love the fact that they know what a man and a woman is now all of a sudden.
Person-splaining.
And that there's differences, but hey.
But this is supposed to be the woman that's going to lead our country. So there's going to be a lot of men around the world that she has to talk to.
Yep.
So I don't care if a guy's talking to her like that because they want answers. He did a great job, by the way. He was trying to keep her focused and centered on the answers that she never answers, and still she couldn't.
Yeah, well, and he pushed her. Now, the best part about that is she hasn't had to be accountable to anybody. But I actually have another clip that you guys probably haven't seen. It's something that wasn't released right away that came out after. Tell me what you think.
Ms. Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the borders? Miss Harris. Kamala, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize. All right, well, I'm just gonna say it. She destroyed him! Oh my gosh! Right? Oh golly, he's so embarrassed. I bet those Republicans are regretting that one. Kamala! 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 Become a member at freedomtunes.com.
Oh
That
my
was good.
goodness.
Yeah, you guys might not have seen that clip.
No, that is good.
That's good.
Heather,
My
what say
goodness.
you?
Wow, that was a great one.
Heather, I threw it over to you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. I have seen that clip. I think it's great. I shared it, I think, when it first came out. But one, it's a comical approach to real life and how the mainstream media framed this interview, which was preposterous.
Yeah.
The fact is if she's gonna crumble from Brett Baer pressing her, what is she gonna do when she has to meet Putin? When she has to meet Xi? Or I don't know, Rocket Man in Korea. What is she gonna do? She can't tell those types of men, excuse me, I'm talking. Let me finish responding. They don't give a shit. Sorry. They don't care. I'm sorry. They don't care.
Can you imagine the Saudi Arabia, like the crown prince, and she's like, I'm speaking. She won't even make it out the country.
Especially with her attitude. My gosh.
Like, and I.
Yeah, it was so great to actually see people hold her accountable. It was, gosh, I don't know. It was, and I said this to Dinesh and at the opening, it was the first time that I think anybody's ever asked her tough questions, and she didn't know what to do. And that, I think, was the end of her campaign. I don't know how one interview could have been so disastrous for a candidate, because I think she went in there because she was treated so kindly by the media for so long. I think she went in there thinking, this will be just like all the other ones. She made it through a debate, and oh my gosh, he wasn't even unfair to her.
I think what it was is he was persistent. He was very, very persistent on any interview, even when they maybe do try to throw her a little bit of a curveball, which is still a softball. They allow her to deflect and they allow her to filibuster. And Brett was not badgering her. He was being persistent. And she has not faced that from the basement of her campaign, where they've been sheltering her in order to produce the production of her coming out of the basement all of a sudden to go on these talk shows and these podcasts. Everything is so scripted and everything is so produced. The minute that she was pressed and then the whole "well, I'm speaking" didn't work, her brain glitched.
Yeah. I don't think she's recovered from it. There was another, this one's a short clip that I think is just really just sums up that interview in a whole.
Of Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans.
So good.
That was my favorite clip of that whole interview. It was my favorite because it literally shows that she has no idea what the hell her role is.
So good.
She doesn't know what the proper role of
You know what I'm talking
responsibility of the
about.
VP or
You
this
know what
or
I'm talking about.
the presidency. She has no idea. And the fact that she said that, well, Donald Trump has been running for office. Excuse me, lady. You have the power to do the thing. He has no power. I don't understand what you're talking about. She drives me nuts. My other issue though, that because I didn't get to talk about the border and immigration, it's two separate issues. We have a border issue.
That was like a
border
debater, by the way.
crisis.
That was like a candidate debate. Look, can we go
Right.
back?
We're gonna go back. So I'm a candidate. I was a candidate. I gotta do this, David.
It was excellent the way you did that. I just wanted to point that out. That was very good.
I'm good at it. So it's like we have two separate issues here. You can't talk about the border and bring it into the same fold as immigration. It's two totally separate issues. You have immigration policies, and then you have a border crisis. Open border is a problem, right? Yes, we need different pathways to citizenship, and we need to make that a little bit easier, and we need to put funding towards that. But that has nothing to do with the open border. It's totally separate. So I don't like the fact that he asked that question, and it was more leaning towards an immigration issue and not the border issue.
Yeah. Well, and we know what's at stake. We know who's on the border. They're sitting there waiting. Here, I even have a clip of this article it'll put over your 2,000 people. They're heading to the United States. What do you think they're doing? They're just waiting.
Oh, they're all going to get ballots.
No.
And free Visa cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cell phones
Well, and
and
that's
free
what we have to
flights.
stop.
Yeah.
So I wanted.
You're gonna get a My Pillow for free.
No, they're not.
No, they're not getting My Pillows for free, Puppet. Don't even
Are
put that out
we
there.
sending them you? Are we sending them you, Puppet? Yeah,
Wait,
they're gonna get.
I'm giving away pieces of cotton from my head.
Wait. I'm getting reports live from the control room. Thanks, Puppet. Thanks to you saying they're going to get a free My Pillow, the caravan just tripled in size. Now 6,000 migrants are coming to the United States on the promise of a My Pillow. Guys, if you do want to get a My Pillow, by the way, and you actually want to purchase one and not get one for free by having to cross the border and just come back over, don't forget, use promo code Pollack, save up to 80% site-wide, right, Puppet? But getting back to it, while Kamala was hiding and licking her wounds
Does somebody
from
have
the
a
disaster,
video on? Because I hear
there's some
feedback.
weird echo.
Feedback.
Yeah, I think it's
Who's
Ant's
playing a
fault.
video?
Ant's fault.
That was
I think Ant's
it.
doing it. Yeah, he's the newbie, and so I think he's doing it. We're just gonna blame him, even if it's not him. But he did
Ant.
something, and now it stopped.
Yeah,
You know. That was
Sorry,
almost,
sorry.
remember when Amanda was typing?
That's right.
Nate, nothing wrong with that. It just happens. It's common practice.
when Kamala was licking her wounds, Trump went to the Al Smith
that's
dinner.
bad.
And if you guys don't know about the Al Smith dinner, it's it's the largest Catholic dinner. All the presidential candidates for like the last 50 years have gone. They trade little digs at each other. It is all in, good holy stuff. Not always, but anyhow, here's Trump at the Al Smith dinner. If you guys didn't see it, he was flipping hilarious.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, Kamala couldn't attend, obviously. Check it out.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. A major issue in this race is childcare, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband Doug anywhere near the nannies. Just keep him away. That's a nasty one. Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
So good.
That last one was great.
So good.
It was the best. Oh my gosh. I loved it. Every minute of it. It was so good.
I mean, he joked about a lot of things, and like Eric Adams was in the room, and he says, "You'll beat this. They're coming after you, but they came after me 4 times." I mean, there was so much good stuff out of that dinner. I mean, Ant, you're hilarious. What did you think?
So this is amazing for Trump. What I love is that he is not only doing that here, but he's doing it on so many different shows and podcasts that younger people listen to. The fact that it's literally humanizing him. Like, he is so charismatic. He's so funny. Remember, he's been in Hollywood for a very long time in a positive light. So he has this already ball buster kind of personality. He's a New Yorker. This is great for him because Kamala is so awkward in anything. She called Usher. She said Usher the other day. She said Usher, and she's like, she doesn't even. She's not cool at all. Like, Trump is just naturally cool. So
she's trying way too hard.
When she said,
I think aliens are abducting you, Ant. I think
when
aliens.
She said, I feel like I'm having an out of body experience.
Something is happening. Aliens are abducting you on our show, like right now.
When she said that she soaks greens in her tub, I wanted to crawl into a cave, lock it, put the boulder in front of it, and never come back out. I was like, I have to be living in a simulation.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I listen, I'm 100% Italian. We relate on a lot of cooking with black folks. And I know that we don't put shit in the tub. Oh,
you can say it. Heather already took the
She already dropped the bomb. It's all good.
I was going to send you a text after the show.
Italians for sure don't put our greens in the tub, and I know black folks probably don't put their food in the tub either. So she's trying so hard to connect with every race and sexual orientation, this and that. It's just not working. Trump is probably the best, if not the best.
The best. It's awesome.
I think the thing is the era of politically correct has run its course. And that has been a crutch the Democrats have used since before Obama. Oh, there he is. And so I think the thing about Trump, the reason why everybody on the left is scratching their head, well, why is he doing so well and this and that? Because we're sick of the BS. We are sick of being held down on with thumbs on us about what we can say, how we can say it, how we can do anything. And they've attacked us so relentlessly that we just don't care anymore. It doesn't matter what I say at this point. I will be labeled a racist. Or because I'm a white cisgendered woman, my voice or my experience no longer matters. And it's just like you get to a point where you're just like fed up. America is fed up with the politically correct nonsense. So Trump, he's never changed. He's been the same, but he is now somehow a breath of fresh air for this country, where we need to make it alpha again. We need to make it great again. We need to make it healthy again. And Trump is the one that's going to do that. Kamala is such a chameleon who is so awkward and so produced that you don't know who you're getting. And when you finally get the real Kamala, she's a you know what show. Look, I said
You can say shit now. We're saying shit all night tonight.
Oh,
because
we can say, okay, she's a shit show.
There you go.
There you go.
And here's the thing, and I'm sorry, Allie. Here's the thing. Did America forget that we literally put in office the first black president twice? This is not a racist country.
No.
Like, we are not a racist country. People, the fact that they push that narrative, like they have to say that I'm a gay man, I'm homophobic, apparently.
Go figure.
People are racist. Nobody, I'm not saying that there aren't homophobic and racist people out there. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
There are. But as a country as a whole, nobody gives a shit if you're gay, if you're black, if you're Latino, if you're mixed, if you're this, we don't care, babe. We all voted for a black president twice. And staggering, what is this, balloons?
I don't know.
What was that? Was there a party for me?
That was a party for you. That was awesome.
I don't know why that happened. I didn't do it.
That's all his
That's
fault.
the Zoom thing. Zoom does it.
Because it was the truth. So they dropped the balloon.
That's right.
Confetti,
Oh, the
pop
truth
confetti
balloons.
just for you, Aunt. That's awesome.
Listen, you bring the gay man on colors.
Balloons. Like, seriously, the balloon. I've never seen anybody make balloons. How the hell did you do that?
I don't know how he did that. That was great.
Hands.
If you make, I think if you make like a heart with your hands, you know you do that heart thing with your hands.
I'm trying that.
Oh,
It
No,
doesn't
like
do
when
anything.
like if you hold that, it's supposed to make like
Well,
hearts come out.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Does it
See
only work
that?
for gay men?
It's on
Yeah.
Zoom. That's a Zoom.
Oh
thing.
no! And that would have been really cool if it only worked for gay men.
Yeah, that would have been totally good.
I think the balloons you got.
Well, look, since everybody's saying shit, I wasn't going to play this clip, but it's worth it. Check it out.
Horrible. She's a horrible person, but she's radical left, and Crazy Bernie is radical left.
You guys didn't hear any audio there, did you?
A little bit. It was dull, but
So
I
we could hear it.
could
You
hear it,
could?
but it was low.
I
Barely.
could.
All right. Well, I'm not going to
We
go
all
back.
know
you
what
make
he
it
said,
louder?
though.
That was the clip where Trump said that Kamala is a shit vice president. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
It
No, I
was
agree.
my favorite clip ever because he says Kamala Harris is. I'm going to try to play it. Let me try to play it. Guys, if the volume's low, I apologize, but it's worth it because I laughed out loud. Hang on.
Horrible. She's a horrible person, but she's radical left, and Crazy Bernie is radical left. And this one, Kamala, is further left than them. So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president. The worst.
The worst.
I'm so sad that it was
Love
the
it.
volume was low, but man, that was such a worth it clip because she is a shit vice president. I wasn't going to put it out there, but since Heather, you broke the seal on the S word tonight. It's like
Believe
Pee-wee's,
it or
remember
not.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure? There would be the secret word of the night of the day, and then if you said it, everybody had to laugh.
No, you had to scream.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people though that if I have to ask if I'm on speakerphone when I'm
Yes.
having a conversation. I'm like, am I on speakerphone? Always. With my sister all the time, or my dad, I'm like, take me off speakerphone.
But let me tell you a secret, and I'm gonna do it in a Joe Biden whisper. You ready? Heather, you're on a show, and there's like a few thousand people watching.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, she's not. She's not sorry.
Listen, that
Sorry,
word,
not sorry.
that word is the least of our country's worries. I'll tell you
That's
what.
true.
Absolutely. That's for sure.
That's the truth.
Okay.
Now,
And the word Kamala is the most of our worries.
Puppet's been working on his Trump impression.
I like it.
Where's your orange
Here,
puppet
how's my
tonight?
Trump impression?
Wait.
You're gay. How was that?
Well, it's a different take on The
That was
Apprentice.
good, Ed. That was
It's a
good.
different Apprentice than I watched, but it works. All right. I want you guys to see one. I'm trying to cram in all of our clips because we're coming to the end of the show. But if I don't show you Trump giving out French fries at McDonald's, I have not served you properly.
I was there.
Served, you said.
Wait, you were at the McDonald's?
I was there. I was across the street.
I need your
He
autograph.
was one of the 5,000 that was across the street. I think that's awesome.
Can you explain then, before I play this clip, what that looked like? And actually, let me play the clip first, and then tell me what it looked like IRL, okay? And for you older folks, that means in real life.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that.
Mr.
Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President. You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything you're
ordinary.
doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess.
That's
oh my
awesome.
gosh.
Thank you
Thanks
for taking a bullet for us.
He goes, I guess I did. I guess when you think about it, that's right, he says.
That's great. So
wait,
I was there
those were
with
immigrants.
mhm.
Those are immigrants and non-white people, by the way, who Trump was nice to, and they said nice things about Trump. Media, are you hearing
he's
this?
He's not racist.
No, they can't. That video is going to be flagged as disinformation and removed from the internet before anybody sees it. So, Allie, we saw a President Trump. By the way, that's going to be my Halloween costume. Don't tell anybody, because if anybody shows up dressed like it at the Halloween party,
Hey,
and
David,
I'm going to be like,
I have
why?
something to tell you. You're on a show with thousands of people watching.
Yeah. But it doesn't sound as cool without this fancy mic. So I'm watching it, and he's in my Halloween costume, and for me it just looked like he was, giving out French fries. But Allie, you were there. It was somewhat of a media circus. Explain what it actually looked like there.
So I'll give you a little background story. I was there with Moms for America doing Get Out the Vote. We were door knocking because moms are the biggest voter base, untapped, right? And so we're encouraging our moms to go out and vote this November. And we realized that this McDonald's was like streets away from where we were door knocking. So we're like, we have to go. And so we went, and as soon as we walked up, there were just massive amounts of people. And I'm like, are we literally at a Trump rally? I've been to a few, and I'm like, this is a small Trump rally. And there were thousands of people there. It was insane. And I walked through. It was kind of difficult to navigate because you have all these the blockades, right? And so they were nice enough. They saw our purple shirts and like, Moms for America, and they're all screaming for us. And we kind of got into the front. And so I had a clear shot to the McDonald's. It was amazing. I was interviewing a couple of people that had their kids there. And I was like, what made you bring your kids? Like, it's Sunday. It's beautiful out in Pennsylvania. I'm from Florida. I brought the sun and the heat. So you guys it's like 78 degrees. And you're out here standing, watching President Trump serve fries, right? And they're like, well, because this is an iconic moment and it's a moment in history I never want my kids to miss. I wouldn't want to miss it. And so there were hundreds of kids out there with their parents, go Trump, like screaming for him and like waving flags and Trump Save America. They had college kids that were like tailgating. It was insane. And people were out there for hours. It was really awesome. It was really, really cool. There was even like a small portion of like Harris Walls, like protesters. I'm like, you guys can't even miss this. Like, you had to be here. So it was awesome.
That's amazing.
Were they handing out tampons?
No. No.
Heather, by the way, Heather, since she's up and coming social media influencer, passing 100,000 followers thanks to this show. I always say something. It had nothing to do with the show,
thanks to the show.
but I'm always
Absolutely
going to
all
say
the
it's
show.
thanks to this show. She posted a picture the other day. I can't
you
even say it
have
out
it?
loud. I can. No, I don't have it, but. She had tampons in her ears holding
yes.
No, I can't even put it out because YouTube will ban me. But she had tampons in her ears holding a rifle. And what was the quote on it?
Hey, Tampon Tim, am I doing this right?
Well, yeah.
And I made sure to have the little strings so
hanging
you could
out.
see it.
It was
yeah.
disgusting,
great.
but funny. It was disgustingly hilarious. And I said the tampons serve a dual purpose. When Kamala starts speaking, it'll keep your ears from bleeding through. So it kind of works perfect.
Oh, that was a good one, Dave. That was your first good joke of the year.
I know. I'm doing okay. Well, I hope you guys had as much fun
Like
as
a
me tonight.
Blackbeard meets Tampon Tim.
The what?
Blackbeard. You know, Blackbeard used to put dynamite sticks in his beard.
I think I
and
thought
his
Pub was being
hair,
racist for a second.
and he
there.
would
I
light
had to-
them and to intimidate.
No, that's the left. The left is racist. You should see my post. I posted a video, and
Oh
the
my
comments
gosh,
on there
Allie,
are
I
just
saw
awful.
that.
They're
That
so
was disgusting.
terrible.
Is that
And
the
I'm just
video
like-
you just posted up?
Yeah, yeah.
And
from
they're super homophobic too.
it's so gross, and I'm just like, I'm sitting. I'm like, is that supposed to hurt my feelings? Oh, honey.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I
sorry,
made the
your mama
mistake of
didn't love you.
I made the mistake of going into a Israel Palestine space and tell people I was Jewish, and I had to go and fight those DMs for about 2 weeks. So
Wow, it's bad.
yeah. But I had so much fun with you guys tonight. This was a blast, and I don't know. I don't know if it's you or Heather, because you're both superstar social media influencers, but the chat has just been insane tonight.
It has been.
I really appreciate everybody in the chat.
Great.
Please come back. And that is all the time we have. We're going to leave on a funny video that I found, but I want to go around the room for closing. Anybody have anything else that they want to share with the world other than any weird whispers? What is that Careless Whisper song? I love that song. You know what I'm talking about? I wish I had it to go out to. You know, the...
I knew the Whisper song by the Union Twins.
Oh, okay, that one. Yes.
That's called Careless Whisper. Yeah.
That's a good song. Oh, wow.
Aunt is just like, what did I get myself into?
Right.
Dave always likes to play sexy music on our show.
Sexy
I don't know
music.
what it is. It's
Oh,
disgusting and
my.
disturbing.
What are the lyrics to that song? What are the lyrics to that song?
I don't even know what song you're
I
singing.
don't ever want to dream again.
There you go.
What is it? Careless Whisper.
I don't ever want to live.
At least Aunt can hold a tune so I can recognize it.
Good job, Aunt.
I don't want to see Dave looking at me.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, guys. This show was a flippin' blast. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, make sure you go check out all the people. Check out Conservative Ant. Check out Heather McIsaac, Liberty Valkyrie. Check out Real Ali Leger. Don't go and look for Puppet. And make sure you go and check me out. We're on X. We're on every platform. And we are now powered by We The Studio. So make sure you go to WeTheStudios.com. Make sure you go and subscribe. And if you want to subscribe and save some money, use promo code Pollack, and you can save a little bit of money. And if you don't want to use promo code Pollack, pay full price. That's cool because it's $17.76, and I would probably want to pay more money just so I can pay $17.76 and feel patriotic about our country.
Me too.
You
And
can
don't
use
forget to
code
vote.
ANT too. ANT.
Which is totally easier to spell than
Then
Pollock.
Pollock. Yeah.
I keep telling him Puppet's a better code.
Pollack is a better code. Yeah. Anyway,
Or David.
guys, thank you,
Use the
David.
first
No,
name.
because there's so many Davids. There's only
That's
one.
right. Nobody
Pollack.
cares about David.
This
Okay.
guy.
Well,
All right,
either
anyway.
way, go vote. Okay.
Yeah.
Go
Oh
vote.
gosh, go vote.
And
Go
take
vote.
your
Go vote.
family and your friends.
Yeah.
Go vote.
And I'm gonna leave you guys on a funny video tonight. Usually it's Puppet's responsibility to
I
pick
was
the funny
gonna pick
video,
the
but
video,
last
and I
week you
would've picked
failed
that
so
video.
badly. So
That is
I
not
picked the
true.
video
My video
tonight.
was funny.
It was definitely
this is,
funnier than yours was.
This is my good friend Sean. He's the best Trump impersonator on the planet.
Yes, I love it.
And I'm going to leave you guys with this video tonight. Good night, everybody. We will see you next week. Same time, same place, 8 p.m. Good night.
And remember, the fleece stops here.
Always does.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it, and they're loving me. I'm honored to have been elected McDonald's Employee of the Year. What a tremendous honor. And the fake news is saying the only reason I won is because of Russia, Russia, Russia. What a bunch of horrible people. Such a disgrace. On day one at McDonald's, I fixed the ice cream machine. Nobody ever thought that was possible, but I did it. I fixed the ice cream machine, and on day one as your president, I'm going to fix our great country. We will have a great country once again. I just found out that I'm being indicted again. They say I put too much salt on the French fries, too much salt, and they say that I had a 15-minute lunch break that took 17 minutes, and that's because the fake news wouldn't let me go. They wanted to know how I was doing, and I was doing so well. Kamala never worked at McDonald's, and the reason we know that is because they wouldn't let her do her job interview with a teleprompter. She said, that's not going to work. We need the teleprompter, and it didn't work out. I did so well at McDonald's, they named a new meal after me. It's called the McWin, and it comes in